Alright, we're still dealing with this 360. I don't know, it just may be me because I haven't used it in so long. I may have some of the settings off by accident. I really don't know, but I'm just going to kind of place it around in different spots and we'll see what happens. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. I mean, it's not that it's, well, I can't say what it's doing or what it's not doing. It's strange. Because sometimes it seems like it's recording, and when like right now it's recording according to the light. I gotta find my hat. Where's my hat? Hanging on the hat hook. Okay. There. So I'm just going to keep putzing with it every now and then to see what happens. I'm not going to do anything with it, you know, as far as videos. I'm not going to keep swamping you with videos on this thing. But I will be using it every now and then. And if I see a big difference in something, I will at that point post it. When I first bought it, for the longest time actually, it worked great. And I noticed that the picture started to get a little worse. Now, the menu on this thing, I don't use it enough, so it drives me nuts, because if you hit this button at the wrong time and that one, and then it takes you to a different menu, and it takes you out of the menu you were in, you know, and until you get there and back out the way you're supposed to, it won't save it. So, there's a, I don't want to say confusion, but confusion. Teen Wolf. Jesus, what the hell am I watching? So, what I need to do, well, I don't need to do it, but I want to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this off, and I'm going to start putting, are you recording? No, you're not. Okay, so right now, what I'm going to do is wipe this down, because as you can see, it's sitting here, and it sits here, it gets to be a disaster. So I'm going to go get some Windex. I'm waiting for cable to come again. Well, yesterday I got somebody on the phone. From, where the hell was she from? Dominica, I think. Anyway, she was kind of nice about the whole thing. And she says, well, okay, I said, no. I said, now listen. I don't want to have you get the blunt of all the wackos that I've had on for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So in order to get through this, you can put it down as a full service. I don't care, because I'm not paying for it. I says, and we can get this done, and you can move on. So what's the problem? I told her. She goes, okay. She says, well, can we? I says, no, we can't. I didn't even let her finish. I says, for the last 2 weeks, we've been jumping around, doing handstands, flipping, flopping, listening to you guys, waiting an hour, waiting for callbacks. We need somebody here. There is a problem here, and we need to fix it. I says, every time I turn the TV on, I don't know if I'm going to see TV or if I'm not. Is it going to work or is it not? I said, so let's take care of the problem. Make an appointment. So she said, okay. And sure as molasses. This may be too thick to put in here. I don't know how much room this cover actually has. No, it's not going to work. I need something thinner. I need something thinner. Thinner and softer. So anyway, if I feel distracted, it's only because I keep looking out. Because they'll park in front of the house. Alright, and if I don't have the camera on, which I don't, alright, it's on all the time, but I'm not viewing it, basically. Maybe I should, I don't know. I never did hook it up. You know, I could probably go to Ring. Let's see what Ring has to say. Let me turn on the Ring. Let me turn it down, let me turn it on. Loading Control Center. Continue. Now this is another thing I got to call up about because they're not acting like they used to either. I don't think that's it. No, that's not it either. It's a screw ring. I've noticed that the last couple of months with Ring, okay, we had it up. There's the front of the house, looking out the main window. So we'll just put that right there and see if it stays on or not. The phone will probably turn off, but we'll see what happens. Let's put it over here. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, I need something soft, fluffy, and thin. Soft and fluffy and thin. Oh no, soft and fluffy and thin. Mr. B is laying on the couch in here, which he never does. He lays out there waiting for somebody to come home. And that's what I don't like. Especially in bad weather. If it's nice out, I don't mind. But when it's bad weather, I prefer him not to be out there. So he's laying in here on the couch. And he's laying right on the piece of material that I was just going to use. So let's take this. Let's take it off from here. And I'm glad that he feels that everything is okay with him in here. Because when it's raining, snowing, freezing cold, at least I know he's in here. Okay. Much better. That little gathering of the seam right there is stopping it. Now it still has a little more on it. If I were to cut that off, it would probably help. You know what? Let's do it. And then what I'll do is I'll just use this as a, well, this is a shop rag, but it'll be the next one for me to use. And I'll cut the other piece once I get a chance. So he goes to the doctor's tomorrow to have the drain removed. And on Thursday, it was going to be Monday at 9 o'clock, which means I would have to, because I wouldn't, Darlene's never been there, nor have I, but you know, I don't want her traveling out in another town that she's not familiar with. So I'm going to take it, which means I'd have to leave here about 20 after 8. And seeing that my shoulder's been bothering me and I haven't been getting to sleep, that I feel well, not that I feel I need, but I do need, you know, there, much better, okay. Sometimes I don't go to sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later than that. So, and if I know I have to get up in the morning, that really keeps me up. So, and I don't like to rush around. I like to get there early and not be in a hurry. So I just always make sure that I'm up, and ready. Now, what I'm doing here is, I'm going to get the bag, which I left in here. Okay, now I got organized to see which way I actually want to do this. Which way do I want to do this? And I want to make sure that it's dry. And it is. Okay. Now what I'm thinking of possibly doing here is taking a piece of that foam, this rubber stuff, and if I can get it in there relatively flat, that would be nice. Oh, I know what I can do. So I want a little support. This bag doesn't offer a lot of support, and I want a little support in the front and back. Yeah, but ring, used it all the time. And it got to a point sometimes to where it was annoying, because every time a car would go by, it would beep. So I cut the sensor back, which was okay. You know, it still beeped if a large car went by, you know, a pickup truck, but for your normal stuff, it wasn't going to go off. Walker-bys, dogs, it didn't go off. Because it was going off on all that stuff, and it was annoying. And everyone was working fine, and then all of a sudden, it's not going off anymore. If the doorbell rings, it doesn't turn on. So I don't know if when I did these settings a few months back, maybe more than that, if I hit anything or not. So I got to call them because I got to renew it anyway. We have the 1 year contract every year for the price. I think it's $30, and they give you a 7-day recording, which is nice, so you can go back, and on the 8th day it starts one again, if you know what I mean. So it's a rotating thingy. Yes, a rotating thingy. Okay, so let me go back in here for a minute. You know what I had? I just don't know where the hell it is. It's a piece of, like a notebook. I don't have one up there. But they have the kind of the vinyl covered cardboard. It's a hard notebook, and it's got the little sleeve in it so that you can put whatever it is to let you know what it is in the sleeve. Well, I had an oversized one, and I had thrown the notebook out because of the teeth were, or whatever you want to call the paper holder, was shot, and so I could use that. So I cut that off, and now I can't find it. And I don't want to wander around too much because I want to make sure I'm near the phone. This really isn't it, but this will do the job. Okay. This is like the styrofoam with some paper on it. So what I'll do is I'll cut what I need off, and then I can cover it with rubber or vinyl or something. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I'll be good with that. So let's start just by getting it down to size somewhat. This will be easier to cut in there. Hold on, I'll be back in a flash. I'm back. No, let's get a cut on this. Get a nice clean cut with the scissors. Let's go 11. And we'll see if that takes me to where I need to be. Or close. The other day I was looking for something and I couldn't find it. It was a 12-inch tape ruler, the one I was looking for, with a rubber back, and I could not find it. So I took one of my cheap wooden rulers and I cut a piece of rubber for the back and I put it on. The other day I was looking for something and I found a bunch of stuff in there that I haven't had a chance to go through yet. And I seen things in there that resembled what I was looking for. However, I don't know if it was dark down the bottom of the box. If it was saw blades, or was it what I needed? Okay. Now this is going to naturally bend and twist and crack and eventually fall apart. That's why I want to cover it somewhat with something. And I don't mind if it bends and cracks a little bit as long as it continues to do its job. Okay, so now, how much room do I need in here? I'll take it to about there. That is what? Well, let's go to 5.5. We're 1/16 off, so let's go to 5.5. Yeah, let's drop it on the floor a few more times too, because that may help. Okay. Oh yeah, that helps. That made it longer. No. Okay. Teen Wolf. Yeah, there's one for you. My scissors that I use all the time are in there. So they were supposed to be here today between 12 and 2. So let's see what happens. We will see what we will see. Now, hello? Hello? Anybody in there? Hello? Can you see me? Can you hear me now? Okay, I got this. A couple pieces of it, but nothing. I mean, this by itself would be, if I just cut this, that is something floating around in there. But it's a little stiff. This is a, it was wider and about 6.5 feet, 7 feet long. This is a mat, so if you want to, two things. Use it as a sleeping bag mat, or you can use it for shooting. It's a little I prefer to have something a little less dense. A little piece of 1-inch foam, you know, like a square foot of 1-inch foam would probably be okay. Let me go see, hold on. Yeah, so now they come here and the collars come off and everything, and you know, they got the yard, they got the freedom, they come in and out when they want. All right, there's food down 24/7 for them, fresh water. I mean, so they basically have a whole new outlook on what life's all about. You know, and it's not that she was doing this on purpose. She just, that's basically all she had. And it was also, they were companions to her because, you know, she really didn't have anybody there. She lived alone. Her spouse, if that's what you want to call it, had passed away. She can't leave the house, you know, because she has panic attacks and stuff. So she has, you know, workers at the house just about, I'd say 16, 18 hours a day. And, yeah, they're not only workers, but they're friends too. I mean, because they're there for so long and been doing it for so long. Yeah, they kind of become friends. That's all there is to it. So now that Jim has all this freedom, so to speak, you know, she wants to protect it, and that's what she's kind of doing. She barks at anybody that's going to interfere with her way of life right now. So, now on the other side, oh, I can't do that with that hand. On the other side of the coin, if you were to come into the